Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Neroli, your host here at Broomstick Fairy. Now guys, this channel is brand spanking new, so I'm hoping that we can become very great or friends, what have you. Now guys, like I said, this channel is brand new, so I've got to get used to camera and the angles and all that. I gotta make sure I've got all the right angles. And don't worry about my big sister is diet. I've been working hard to try to get this channel up and running for y'all. But it's up now, so I'm thankful and grateful. And like I said, welcome. So guys, I want to make an announcement. In addition to the tarot card readings, I also have an Etsy boutique. And at the moment, I'm selling majority of women's clothes. But fellas, do not give up on me. Not yet anyways. Because basically, very soon, I will be accumulating more and more men into my collections. Alright? And also I want to make it known that for those of you who are not too into astrology or horoscopes or tarot, that you should definitely check out your moon and your rising sign, in addition to the sun sign, which is the month you was born, because those have a major influence on our personalities. Okay? And you also should know that there is no better way than getting a more effective reading than for getting one with you and I personally, because those ones are more interactive. There's more one-on-one. It's just you and me, because these readings are basically a general reading, and I have to reach millions, so thousands of you with the same zodiac sign as yours. Okay, so I'm not going to hit the nail every single time for each and every one of these general readings. So your best way is to book a private one, and you can do so at the Etsy shop, which is called Broomstick Fairy, or one word with a capital F in between the broomstick and the fairy. Or you can also do so at my email, which is broomstickfairy@gmail.com. Alright? Because just in case if you're watching the general ones and you're thinking, that doesn't really gel with your smell, or you're thinking, in other words, it doesn't really feel like it's resonating with you, or doesn't feel like it's in tune with you and your essence, it's because you either need a one-on-one or you need to check your moon and your vibes. Now guys, thank you so much for your time. And once again, welcome to Broomstick Fairy. Hello, moon children and my fellow water signs, Cancerians. Hello, Cancers. How do you do? And welcome to your August 2016 monthly horoscope. Now, I know I'm uploading this in the middle of the month, but it still pertains to the full month of the entire August. Okay. Now let's get into your reading. I feel like this reading is based on some sort of organization that you're a part of, if you're a teacher, or work if you're a teacher, or some sort of organization you're a part of. If you guys are part of the arts industry or the art world, like some club or leisure activity or group that may be sponsoring you or that you may be a part of. Or this may be about a woman or a man's husband. Sorry, or it can be husband, but in this case, I'm talking about pregnancy. So no. In this case, there can be a woman who is pregnant, a wife who is pregnant, and maybe one of you don't really want another child at the moment. So yeah, I'm just gonna get into the messages that I have for you. And guys, again, if this doesn't resonate with you, even if it's just one line in the whole entire reading that I do that sinks deep within you, then that's enough for me. Okay, because just remember, there's so many of you all over the world, and I just have to tell as many stories that come to my head or that spirit wants you to know. Okay. So first off, at the core of the reading, or like what is surrounding you definitely right now, you have the Four of Cups, and then you have the Sun. And the Four of Cups, the cups in the deck represent water signs, which is Cancer, yourself, Scorpio, or Pisces. And the cups represent emotions and intuition and creativity, love, nurturing, harmony, and balance, and things of that sort. So the Four of Cups, which is this one right here, it is often depicted as, it often means that there is opportunities around you, or there's offers around you, and you're not taking it, or you're feeling quite bored with the way that life is going with you right now. And paired up with the Sun, I feel like for those of you who this message is for, that is pregnant, if you're a female, or if you're a husband, your spouse, or if it's not your spouse, someone that you have been freaking deacon. Some of you may be gifted with a pregnancy. This offer, this hand is giving out a gesture of a new pregnancy, perhaps because the Sun card represents children, and with the presence of some of the other cards in the reading, it is highlighting also the presence of children. So this can mean for some of you, I know not all of you, or for some of you, you may be given an offer to have a child, and maybe some of you are not too pleased with this with this offer. Maybe some of you it was very unexpected and you didn't want it, especially because when I asked the tarot what was the overall meaning of this tarot deck, what was the overall meaning of this message for Cancers, and I asked with the Mother Peace Tarot card deck, and you got the Empress in reverse, and the Empress in reverse can often talk of unwanted children, or not really receiving the love or the nurture or the care that you feel like you should be in some sort of group or organization that you're with, or not really fitting out of your element. Or some projects that you wanted to get off the ground, or the birth of new projects is you're not really seeing the benefits or the profits of that right now. So again, back with the story on the line with the women or the spouse of the men who are, the wife may be pregnant. Some of you maybe have given an offer of pregnancy and you're not so sure about it, or you're not so sure about this new found joy or blessing that has come into your life. And then for some of you, you may be giving an offer, or maybe giving a new job, or you may be giving a new role, because some of you, I feel like, maybe actors or into the artist field, and some of you may be given a role, but you don't want to take up the offer on this role because you feel like it doesn't sit well with you for some reason. Because in your thought process, you have the Seven of Wands, and the Wands in the tarot card deck represent fire and represent the zodiac signs such as Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And they're quite active and quite optimistic and quite charging ahead with this force and this optimistic, creative energy that is kind of ready for anything. So you have the Seven of Wands, and the presence of the Seven of Wands here, and also with the Hermit here, and the High Priestess, and the Fool, and the Star. I feel like some of you may be destined to be teachers. So maybe some of you are teachers, and maybe going back to this, maybe some of you are teachers, and you can't go on holiday because of your job. Maybe you have to go. Maybe you wanted to go on, or maybe you have an offer to go on a holiday, but you can't go on holiday because the Sun can represent literally and just in holiday, but you can't go because of your job. Maybe you have a teaching job and you have duties that you have to pertain to. For some of you, forgive me, I just like the messages come and I have to and I just have to say them because it's gonna reach somebody out there, and trust me, I'll just be happy if it just reaches one. Sounds cliche, but I'm so serious. So and then next to the Seven of Wands, I feel like if some of you are not teachers, some of you you feel like you have to fight for your beliefs, or fight for what you believe in, or you feel like you have to lead the pack in some sort of way, and you also have a lot of ideas coming through your head, or a lot of things that you want to work on. With the Knight of Swords here, the Knight of Swords often charges ahead with this energy, and is often very very analytical, very swift, and very good with communication, and very good with executing plans, and very good with with doing what they say. So they may come up with all these ideas and stuff, but it ends up coming into fruition. And then you also have the Two of Wands here, and the Two of Wands facing the Knight of Swords like that. I feel like you and somebody else may be opposing each other, or you and somebody else may be at a face-off and just feel like you have stuff to prove to each other. Or if that's not the case, I just feel like some of you are realizing that you have to make a choice of something. So maybe you have to, with the Seven of Wands, you feel like you have to fight for your beliefs, and you have to make a choice about something. You may be a little bit just impulsive in the choices, or someone else would be a little bit impulsive with you. And the Two of Wands, you're realizing that you're so capable of so much more, and you're realizing that you want to make a choice with something, or you want to add more into your life, possibly take up this new vacation, or take up this new role that has become available at work. But all in all, I feel like the overall meaning and message for this reading for you guys, because at the bottom of the deck, after shuffling and making my rounds my 2 rounds on the cross and triangle spread, you have the Wheel of Fortune card in reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune card in reverse talks of often of an unfortunate turn of events, kind of feeling like your world is turned upside down. There's something that you had planned probably didn't come into practice, or maybe for those of you who wanted to go on vacation, you couldn't go on vacation because of your work, or those of you who are in the creative industries, maybe a role that you applied for, you didn't get it, or maybe you're feeling a little bit of disconnected with some group or some organization that you are a part of, and you're just feeling like there's an unfortunate turn of events. You're feeling like you have been knocked off your axis or knocked out of control. You're feeling like things are out of your control at the moment. Because also in your thought process, we have the devil, and the devil does not literally mean the devil. It can just mean that you are having some self-limited bondages, or you're addicted, or you're bondage, or you're held bondage, or you're limited to something, you're stuck. So maybe for those of you who have received news about a pregnancy, maybe you feel like this is binding you or holding you down, and you're feeling like you're in mental lockdown, or you're feeling like it's holding you hostage, because the Eight of Swords means someone who is stuck and who is stagnant, and energy is blocked, and you're having mental anguish, and you're having a lot of negative thoughts going through your head, or a lot of thoughts that is going through your head that is making you not make any movement, and you're just staying still, and it's not a healthy place to be. It's very detrimental to your health, especially paired up with the devil card. It's basically saying that you are blocked right now, or something is keeping you bondage, or something is keeping you hostage, and you're not able to move, and you're obsessing over something, especially with this Eight of Swords here. So maybe some of you may be obsessing, or maybe held hostage and stuck from going on vacation because of the work or the duties you have to fulfill, especially with this Four of Wands in reverse. Now the Four of Wands upright is a very, very, very auspicious and beautiful card. Very good omen. It often means celebration. Often means it can mean getting what you want. It can mean a wedding. It can mean vacation. It can mean unity and community. It can mean good business. It can mean that just something that you set up shop is coming together. But in reverse, it's the opposite of that. Maybe you're not getting along with others right now in an organization that you're with, or in work, or a certain job that you have, or something of that needs. And especially with it being in the reverse, and then with the Eight of Swords and then the Devil, it's like it's saying that you're feeling trapped, or there is an unhappy home right now. So for some of you who's in a relationship, maybe this information of this new baby is causing you to feel like a martyr in your own home, or causing you to feel trapped into this marriage, or trapped into this commitment, and you're not really feeling too happy about this bond right now. You're feeling like it's holding you entrapment, or you're feeling like it's just holding you back, and you're not able to soar like you want to, kind of sense. And also the spiritual influences in your world right now, which is solidifying that there is some sort of discord within friends, or some sort of agreement or separation with friends or groups or organization or clubs that you're in, because you have received the Three of Cups in reverse. Three of Cups upright. It's all about celebration. It's all about collaborations. It's all about friends that may be in business together. It's all about the arts industry. It's all about celebration, maybe even drinking too much. And in reverse, it can also mean pregnancy upright. In reverse, it can also mean an abortion, or not an abortion, I'm sorry, a miscarriage of some sort. Or it can mean that it can also mean drinking too much in the reverse. Or it can mean that
You're isolating yourself from your friends at the moment, and or some group that you were affiliated with. And paired up with the two of swords, and reverse, I feel like your communication may be firing off now, because you're coming from a place, because upright, it means that you're in stalemate, or you're blocked, or you're blocking your communication, you're blocking your heart, you're not really speaking your heart or speaking your mind. But in reverse, I feel like you are letting loose. You're letting someone have it, or you're letting an organization have it, or you're letting a spouse have it, or you're letting out your feelings now. And the feelings, this can be a positive thing, it can be a negative thing, and all depending. But with this paired up next to this Three of Cups in reverse, I feel like it's stating that there may be some sort of arguments or disagreements with some group or some people that you're affiliated with. Some of you maybe have perhaps seeking legal advice of some sort, um, or some of you maybe just feeling like you're not being treated fairly with some group that you are dealing with, or some group that you are a part of, or a family member. You're just feeling like you're not being dealt with fairly, or you're being judged. And what's manifesting from your spiritual plane into the everyday life, or into the physical plane of your life, or into that's earthy and that you can feel and that's tangible. We have the Hermit, and then we have the Hangman, and these two together can mean isolation. So maybe you're deciding that you need to isolate yourself from the group, or you need some time to learn by yourself to think from your spouse. It can mean that you're taking time out to marinate more on the spiritual aspects of life. And you're just waiting for the messages from God, and waiting for the messages from the universe and spirit to come to you. So you're kind of putting a situation on hold instead of dealing with it right now, and you're just tending to the more spiritual, humbling aspects of life, instead of tackling with something, um, right at the moment. All right, and then also the opposing forces that is going on in your life right now. You have the King of Swords and the High Priestess. So for those of you who is in an organization, or in a group, or a unity, or a foundation, or a club, I feel like some of you, especially the women, I feel like it may be kind of maybe like a sexist thing going on here. You may feel like someone is totally dismissing your presence, or your essence, or your sway. Like you may feel like there is like some some sexist tendencies going on here with the King of Swords and the High Priestess. This is often about mental, because they both speak of mental powers, but one's more intuitive, and one's a little bit more analytical and more logical. So maybe someone may be dismissing your way of doing things, especially if this is pertaining to a husband and a wife. This can also mean a husband and a wife. You may be feeling like your spouse does not understand you and the decisions that you're trying to make right now. One of you may be a little bit more immature than the other. One of you may feel like may act more like the child, or may act more like a reckless child, and the other one may be more like a motherly figure. Especially with the presence of the Fu and the Star over here. So maybe that may be the opposition. With those of you who are involved in some sort of marriage of some sort, and for the other aspect of the spectrum, for some of you who are in creative work and things of that nature. I feel like some of you actors or something, you may be trying to audition for something, or and you're feeling like it's too hard to kind of fit in with that community, or you're feeling like it's too hard to kind of get by and be appreciated for you. I don't know, maybe a quite sexist industry or quite sexist group that you're a part of, and the males may be dominant there, in that community that you're trying to become a part of. And then on the other side, which is because these two are opposing forces here, what's on the other side of that spectrum is that you do have hope, and that you do have a lot of faith, and you do want to be that star and go for that leap of faith, but you're feeling a little bit restricted in some organization that you're in, based to these two opposing forces here. Or maybe you want to go and pursue an acting career, but you can't because of your family. Or maybe you want to, but you can't because of you have other responsibilities that you need to um, that you need to focus on. Maybe you have to work and you want to leave your job to go and pursue more creative endeavors, but you can't do that at the moment. Um, and also, those of you who are artists, I feel like some of you may be some of you may be dealing with some legal advice, like especially if some of you who are married, maybe especially that's maybe why the Justice card has came out. When I asked what is the overall meaning as well, this came out with the Empress card. So maybe some of you in your marriage is a little bit maybe you're dealing with some sort of legal or custody battle with your spouse right now, and that's why you have the Six of Pentacles here. And the Six of Pentacles just talks about reciprocity, and maybe you're getting the amount that you desire or the amount that you need in an organization or in an agreement that you have come up with lawyers or with one of your spouses. So maybe you're fighting over who gets what right now, and maybe there is a balance, give and take, and maybe there is an equal distribution of the finances or of possessions. And with the Moon card here, I feel like this is definitely talks about intuition, following your intuition or following your dreams, or stepping into the light and starting to reveal things to you and being a little bit more creative for some of you. Okay. And also, I just feel like for the outcome of this situation, maybe some of you may be refusing to let go. Maybe some of you who are thinking about terminating your marriage, or maybe some of you are thinking about terminating or leaving your presence in this group that you are affiliated with. I feel like you're a little bit reluctant to go with the Eight of Cups here, because the Eight of Cups often speaks in the upright position of someone who is ready to move on in life, someone who is ready to kind of go. Something is missing in your life, so you have the Eight of Cups here, but you're going to search for the ninth one. And you're going to go on a journey, you're going to go on a mission to try to find that next step or that missing piece to your puzzle to complete you. But in reverse, I feel like some of you are reluctant to move on from a situation, even though you know you need to go, or you know you need more out of life, you're reluctant to move. So maybe some of you may be holding on to your marriage or holding on to a relationship that you know, and maybe you may be holding on to a relationship for that matter, for children, because you have the Page of Pentacles here in the outcome position as well, paired with this. And the pages can represent a message, or a message coming into you, or it can represent children, or it can represent, for those of you who are teachers or who are into the arts, maybe you're choosing to stay and teach, or you're choosing to stay and study and stay affiliated with this group or this organization that you're with, and you're not going to give up, and you're choosing not to give up. All right. Those of you, you know what's going on in your life, and so just take the messages and just pertaining to what fits with what puzzle. I'm just dishing out the messages as they come, okay? And also with this Page of Pentacles, I feel like some of you are still gonna, or maybe some of you are not gonna leave an organization. You're still gonna stay there and work hard and work on your dreams so that you can see them come into fruition, even though there is a bit of discord right now. Some of you may be thinking about studying or going and studying a new, or open up your own practice, or open up your own business of some sort. Okay, so those are the messages for Cancers. I really, really hope that helps some of you. No, I'm not done. I have some messages from the fairies, the oracle messages, and I'm an oracle queen. I love oracles, and they kind of take a lot of time sometimes reading some of the descriptions, and that's partially the reason why I already do my readings and I kind of have the spread laid out already to save some time, because I just want to let you guys know that my style of shuffling, I shuffle each and every individual card and I wait for them to pop out, because I feel like that's the message that Spirit wants you to know. So the process would go like this, and then whatever card that pops out, that's the message that Spirit wants you to know. Like, say for instance, a card just popped out, and that will be placed in one section. I just feel like you guys should know that, being that you didn't see the whole process, and it wasn't a live shuffle. But that's exactly how it's done. So to save time, I already have everything shuffled. And the same process goes for the magical messages from the fairies. And the fairies, the oracle message that the fairies have for you is healing, healed, and healer. And when this card came out, I was happy because it kind of like solidified some of the message that it was pertains to some of you guys, basically stating that the situation that you've inquired about is healing. Your prayers have been heard and you've been answered at this very moment. You have healing abilities that you can use for the benefit of the situation, as well to help other people heal. Additional meanings for this card or scenarios for this card often play out in your life purpose involves healing. You or the person you are inquiring about are experiencing healing. Know that the situation is already being healed in a spiritual truth, and take courses or read about healing and work at or open a healing center. Okay, so this message pertains to some of you. So maybe this is for some of you who are teachers or who feel like you are here meant to be on a journey of some sort of spiritual teaching of some sort, especially with the presence of the Hermit here, which can often mean a spiritual teacher. The Seven of Wands, which often means a teacher. The High Priestess and the Seven of Wands often means a teacher. So maybe this reading is for some of you who are teachers, and maybe you can't leave your job because of something, or maybe you're choosing not to leave your job because you love it and you decided to stay there as opposed to going on holidays. Okay. And also you have messages from the other fairies, the other fairy oracles. This book is quite big and quite in-depth and intuitive. I love this book because it gives a lot of information. So forgive me if they're quite long. I just feel like these messages need to be delivered to your consoles. Okay, so you have Jehovah. Now, some of these words may seem a bit strange, but this is the mystical word, okay? And they have some great messages for you. And you have received Jehovah, and then you received Jehovah in reverse, okay? Now, Jehovah upright means imaginary fears, unreal hazards, and realistic caution. So in reverse, basically means, on the other hand, perhaps there is a wicked thing in the closet waiting for the lights to be turned out. Check things out carefully. Sometimes our fears are justified. It is important for us to learn to distinguish between the imaginary and the real. I'm just going to read the upright meaning for you so you can understand what the reverse meaning means, okay? It is time to look for the truth behind our fears, to distinguish between what is real and what is just our projection of old traumas and fears into our imaginary future. By delving into our old patterns, we can see past them to a more liberating life. Only by facing these fears honestly and seeing them for what they are do we gain greater ability to open our hearts. To the singer of courage, the card number 8, and gain strength to face the really difficult challenges in our lives. Each false fear confronted and resolved makes us much stronger. But in reverse, it's basically saying, on the other hand, perhaps there is a wicked thing in the closet. So maybe there is some sort of thing going on with a group organization that you are paired up with, like I said earlier in the tarot reading. Waiting for the lights to be turned out. Check things out carefully. Sometimes our fears are justified. It is important for us to learn to distinguish between the imaginary and the real. Okay? The other message that you have is number 48, which is a collection of pixies. And you have received a collection of pixies in reverse. Upright, it means duty, willingness, joyful participation, and virtues. And in reverse, the collection of pixies represents when pixies haven't enough to do, they tend to get into mischief together. They decide they ought to lead the travelers astray, chase the farmer's cow from the field, tangle the computer's wires, and tickle its memory and cross the telephone lines. Make sure that everyone involved knows what they are expected to do here and that they have enough work to keep them busy without being overloaded. Alternatively, some people may be dragging their feet and not getting their job done, promising and then delivering and then not delivering. Invite them to join the dance. If possible, help them to see the joy and satisfaction to be found in doing a good job cheerfully. Set a good example. So yeah, this card also, it definitely pertains to some of the message that I gave to you as well. And I hope that this is definitely gelling with some of your smells out there. In other words, I just hope that it's resonating with you, okay? And now the last message you received is the fairy who was kissed by the pixies. Okay. This card basically means love given, love received, metaphorical open heart surgery. The feeling of giving love is what makes us feel good. What keeps us from enjoying it fully is our desires to earn others and to have them constantly prove our importance to them. Such proof is impossible. However, this kind of conditional and self-limited love is part of how we learn about real love. If you ever hear yourself asking, "Do you really love me?" or saying, "I don't think you really love me," then you know that love you are giving to another is conditional and limited. That's very, very, very interesting. So basically, the message for this is, oh wow, what can I say here? Love, sweet love. Accept it, burnish it up, add to it, and pass it on. The presence of the fairy who was kissed by the pixie suggests that giving and receiving love and intimacy in any of a wide variety of relationships. She gives notice that this is the time to open and heal our hearts. Solidifies the message that you got from the other fairies, which is saying heal, healer, and healing. Boom, blah. So basically, she gives notice that this is the time to open and heal our hearts. Different aspects of life may well be floating happily together, healing separations and hurts from the past. Bonding may take place and deep feelings emerge. Changes for the better may occur in all aspects of life, but especially in relationships, which may be deepening and becoming richer. You may be experiencing love therapy for opening the heart as new relationships begin and old ones develop. Enjoy. That's all the messages I have for these oracles for you guys. I mean, I have loads of oracles, but I just feel like Spirit is telling me that that is enough for you. Don't do it overboard for you, Cancer. And guys, I just hope that this reading was very, very helpful to you. Now, please like my page. I mean, like the video if you choose, or if not, please do subscribe so that maybe just in case this reading didn't resonate with you this month, maybe it will next month. But also remember to check in your eyes and if it doesn't. Toodaloo for now. Enjoy the rest of your August, Cancer. Mwah.